Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today I am going to button up Hydrangea Hill at the new terrace garden. I've got a couple of things on the docket. I need to lay irrigation. I've got some more anemones to plant and some poppies. We're going to really fine-tune, finish this section of the garden. I can literally walk away from it. The only thing that I need to do is plant my daffodils when they come in December, and this section of the garden will be complete. So you've been with us this whole entire project. It has been a major transformation of this area. Love it so much, but there are some things that I have to do. Number one, irrigation. You were with me when I planted all of the shrubs in here. And we call it Hydrangea Hill because we have this lovely hedge of firelight hydrangeas right here, and it is a hill, so hence Hydrangea Hill. And the shrubs are in, and I have some perennial grasses in here, but we have not gotten any rain since Hurricane Helene came through, which was close to 3 weeks ago, and we are getting cool air, which is lovely, but it's also dry air, which I'm not upset about. However, that just means that my plants need some water. So you can see, especially my lower petalums have been some that have taken, quote, the worst hit, and you can see that they're just a little drought tolerant. I mean, you know, showing some signs of drought. I have been watering them, but we just need to get the irrigation on it. And what I also am going to do is come back in and shore up the root balls here. You can see, because we plant our shrubs high because we have that clay soil, I'm going to come back through and give everybody some Land and Sea compost. Of course, Land and Sea is, or any great compost, right? Any high quality compost that you love will be great. When we were here digging and planting these plants, you probably saw, and if you've been a follower of Creekside, you know that we have horrible red clay. It's hard to see it right now because it's kind of covered up. There is some showing right here, but when I say this is nothing but straight clay soil, that is what this is right here. Brenna is my Vanna, so she's showing you the red clay clod. We have come back through and added some amendments trying to give in some organic material, but we need more. So I'm just going to go around to every plant and I am going to put some Land and Sea. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to come through and I have my drip tubing. This is actually the tubing that I pulled out of the lower cottage garden section, because of course we still have to redo all of that. So I pulled it out because the tubing is great, and there's no need to toss it. We're just going to reuse it. So this is that drip irrigation, and you can see there's like an emitter right here, and then you go down 12 inches and there's another emitter right there. So what I will do is snake this all the way around all of the shrubs. So all of the shrubs will get that drip tubing. And then what I'm also going to do is probably go ahead and run a line coming down this way towards the front, because I may end up putting some annuals in here in the summertime, and I will want to have that irrigation available to me. So that is probably a possibility of what I will do with that. We already do have drip tubing in here, so I'm just going to tie into it and then just add in. So I don't have to like start all over. I don't have to make any massive connections. What I do have with me is my connectors. So what I need to have are so the coupler, this just joins two lines together, right? You just put both lines on there. And then I have a T, because that way if I want to bring in two lines and connect everybody together, I've got a T. So basically all I need are couplers and T's, so I have that. I also have my landscape staples. These are great, y'all. You can just get them anywhere. They're just called irrigation staples, landscape staples, nice and rounded. So then what you do is you just come back in and secure all of the lines, so that way you're not having things pop up, and it just holds everybody down, because we want to make sure everybody stays in place. Once the irrigation is in, Then once the land and sea is in, then I'm going to come back and I am going to plant my anemones and my poppies. So the anemones, you need to soak them in warm water for 2 to 3 hours. And so that is what I have my little bowl right here with those anemones. I get these all from Eden Brothers. Eden Brothers is a great North Carolina company that does amazing seeds and corms and all sorts of things. So this is the rainbow pastel mix, which is going to be a lovely mix of like creams and lavenders and really nice kind of that sweet soft color. Anemones are going to be perennials for me, so that's why I'm putting them here, because I can plant them now and then literally years from now they'll just keep coming back. They love the full sun. You soak those for 2 to 3 hours, no more than 3 hours. You dig a little hole and plop them in. Super, super easy. I've done them several times before and absolutely love them. My first time doing, these are the Papaver Oriental roots. And the color is Harlem. So Harlem is going to be a really nice deep red, which I think will be a fun contrast to the anemones. So you can see here, this is a bare root, right? So you've got the bare root here, and then you can already see the roots are starting to get active and be very happy. I'm gonna plant this like 2 to 3 inches below the soil, it says. So that's what we're gonna do. This was the root from last year, and then these, not the root, the stem from last year, and then we'll pull all these down. So we're gonna get those in there. I've got a couple of bags of these guys. I have 120 of the anemones. So I'm gonna kind of spread them out on the hill and have some fun with that. And then last but not least, we're going to come through and top dress with mulch. I am going to be using the Daddy Pete. This is the soil conditioner, soil enhancer, which is just the aged pine bark fines. It is just aged pine bark. It makes a great mulch. You can use it for, right, landscapes. You can plant shrubs directly in it. You can use trees. So it's really well draining, and so it will tie in because that is what we also used down by the steps and all over there. So in all of these beds, we're going to use the aged pine bark fines as our mulch. So basically from Hydrangea Hill, from the hydrangeas down, we're going to use this. I've used it multiple locations in the past this past season, and it also does really great as far as like preventing weeds. I think because it's so fine, the weed seeds can't get through there, so it's great. So that's what we're going to do. Get this baby buttoned up. A lot of things to do. It's a very cool, crisp day here. Tonight's low is going to be in the 30s. We are all loving it. So without further ado, I'm going to get started and get the compost laid out first. All right, my friends, so Jackson came and helped me. We got the irrigation laid down. It is all put down and it is running. Always test the irrigation before you put the final cover of mulch on it, because if you need to do some little tweaks, it's much easier to do when everything is exposed. So I am going to use this video as an opportunity to document exactly where the irrigation is, because if I need to come back for future reference, I will have I will have this documented. So basically what happened is the water is coming in from right here at the wall where the Hydrangea is. And so you can see, let me see if I can switch around so that the sun's not being pesky here. So we have that T right there, and you can see the T, and so it's all a closed system. There's not an quote end where we had to pinch off the line. It is all connected. So you can see, you know, my 9 bark, she's a little crispy. She's alive, everybody's alive. And some of them just look a little worse for wear than the others. But basically what we tried to do, especially where it was on this massive slope, because water will just drain so much, is we tried to loop everybody. You can see where we still have some water, air in the lines rather, and so it's kind of pooching out. Now, in some places, the irrigation line is pinched. When the sun gets on that, it will loosen up, but water is still going through. But I'm gonna leave this, here in a second. When I finish talking with you, I'm gonna go get some lunch. And so I'm gonna let this sit out in the sun. So then I'll be able to squeeze these little pinch places and open up so that all the water, make sure that it goes through. But I mean, the water is dripping. You can see on everybody, it is dripping. With the grasses, those are schizoceriums, they don't need a ton of water, just a little bit. So we've just got water going in that direction. Yeah, and so everybody is looped, everybody is going, the water is running. I can easily let this run, gosh y'all, hour, 3 hours, because it is so incredibly dry, and we're not counting on any rain anytime soon. So when we got down here, it got a little interesting. We have, remember, there are 4 summerific hibiscus in here, but you can't see them because I've cut them down. Your summerific hibiscus, your perennial hibiscus, love water. They, in fact, can be a bog plant. So the wetter it is, the more they're going to grow and the more they're going to put on flowers. So I really want to make sure that they have plenty of water. So we went ahead and made sure to do a nice circle around those summerifics. These are edge of night. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then Brenna this is her spot. She keeps laying on this hibiscus today. I guess it's because it's in the shade and the soil is cool, so she is very happy. Now, I'm not going to do this today just because simply I'm not. If I find an emitter, I might do it. But remember that the jumbo jardiniere does have an irrigation line in it, right? So when I planted it, I went ahead and ran a tube up through the container. So what I'll do is on this end, I'll connect the brown, it's like a little micro tubing, and it has the emitters in it, so that way I can run it around the container. But it's down here that I left plenty of irrigation line. So what I'll do is I just take that, run it over to that tubing, put an emitter on it, and so that way it ties in and everybody will run together and be quite happy. Now, as far as, because I get asked this all the time, right? How much are you going to water this area? How often? How long? Really, I'm having to water it really intensely in the beginning, and that's the same with you. When you first plant your plants, the first couple of weeks are the most important. Once you get that root system going and it's active and it's seeking out water, then you can cut it back some. But these first couple of weeks are very important to watch your water. So once I get the mulch on and we have much cooler temperatures, they're going to retain that water. So I'm going to run it probably for like 2 or 3 hours today to get it really, the ground really saturated. And then I may go 4 days and not run it again. Watering is just something that is so dependent. It depends on what kind of soil do you have. If you have clay, it holds more water. If you have sandy, it obviously drains really well. What are your temperatures? What is your dew point? What is your humidity? If you have high humidity, or if you have a low humidity and a low dew point, air is going to evaporate faster. What are your outside temperatures? If it's 95 degrees, you're going to have to water a ton. If the high is 60, then you're going to have to water a lot less, right? So the best thing to do is to watch your plants. My loropetalums are going to tell me when they're dry. Everybody's going to tell me when they're dry. So if I keep that, then that's your kind of like the litmus test, right? To see how they're doing. So water is dripping. It's good. I may go back through and just any parts of the irrigation that are kind of popped up, I might take some more pins and push it down, because that way when I lay down the mulch, it won't be popping through the mulch and it have nice contact with the soil. Next thing I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna go grab some lunch real quick because it's lunchtime. Gotta have full fuel, right? And then what I'm gonna do is come back through and get the anemones and the poppies planted. So what my thought process is on that is I'm going to stick them in areas where it is open, and that I will never have to worry about messing with them again, right? Because these are both going to be perennials for me, and that will come back year after year. Plant them once, and then hopefully they will thrive and be very happy and come back for many years. So then let the irrigation run, get some food, get these babies in the ground, lay down some mulch, and boom, we are done. Alrighty, my friends, we are done with today's project. Oh me, one, it looks amazing. Two, I feel great getting it all done. This flower bed is completely buttoned up, so it is, quote, finished. I don't have to do anything to it. The only thing that I will do is early December, I have some jonquil bulbs, so that is daffodils. Here in the South we call them jonquils, and big, huge, it's gigantic star, I want to say something like that, but it's from Color Blends, of course, and they are magnificent. I have them on other parts of the property. Huge, bright yellow cherry flowers, of course, that smell divine. They have the most lovely fragrance. So where I'm going to put those is going to be more right along the edge of the wall. Not sure if I'm going to do a line of them or if I'll do clumps. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But the reason I'm going to put them really up close to the wall is because with the jonquils, you have to let their foliage die back naturally. You can't cut it because these will be perennials for me. They'll come back year after year. So I'm thinking if I plant them close to the wall, then when the foliage begins to look a little ratty, I can just kind of lay it down, and then I'll have some annuals popped in here, and it'll help kind of disguise it. So that's kind of the plan. But I mean, shore everybody up with some land and sea, get the irrigation down, get it all squared away, get it turned on. I know that it's working. 120 anemone corms in there. I've got I think it was 20, I think it was 20. I don't know. Maybe, no. It was 10. Sorry. All my numbers are starting to go together. 10 of the Harlem poppies are in there. And so it's just lovely. And then, of course, the final dressing of the mulch. It's kind of like the lipstick of the outfit, right? Or the earrings of the outfit. I ran out, because I know some of y'all are going to notice, be like, oh my gosh, they're two different colors. Ran out of the one pallet of the soil enhancer, so I had to go grab 10 bags from another pallet, and they're just different ages. So you can see one's a little more red, one's a little more brown. Y'all, it's fine. They'll all blend together, and it'll be no big deal. So everything here is now done, so I can check this project off the list. What is next as far as the whole terraced project is, because the construction part is complete, right? So the actual construction, the lighting, all of that is finished. We are good to go. The only things that I have left to do are the landscaping, which is really just the fun part, right? Still work, but it is the fun part. So I have this whole collection of plants right here that I'm keeping here because, one, I want to make sure that they're acclimated and are doing good as far as the sun, and they are. I can easily get them watered because I have a hose link just right there, so I can just get them watered every day. But they're going to be going in this general area right here, and so that will probably be my next project, will be to get them in the ground, irrigation on them. So that will be the next project for this part. And then we tackle the cottage garden, because here basically everything is going to get revamped. There are only a few plants that are not going to be touched, which are my Baptisia, my Amsonia, and my rose. Everything else is going to be touched, whether it's just lifted out and moved to a different location, lifted out and divided and replanted, or just whatever. So this is going to be fair game. I'm going to have, Jerry's going to help me and help use the excavator to help me kind of pull some stuff out, because clearly, I mean, obviously, y'all, I am not leaving, like, this is not finished, right? We are going to take care of this. It is just, this is more landscaping. It is not construction. It is landscaping, so I just have to deal with this. And that's the beautiful thing about planting in the fall. There's a lot more grace, in my opinion, because our season is so long in the fall that I am not trying to, I can plant through December and January. It's not like in the spring where I'm trying to beat the heat before it hits. It doesn't matter here. So but I do want to get it done. Trust me. I want to get this whole thing done. So we are working towards that bit by bit. It's just that, as usual, things around here at Creekside are full and busy. And so you just kind of divide and conquer and do what you can. So anyway, my friends, it has been a great day here in the garden. I tell you, the weather is fantastic. I love the fall. It is great. So it's a good day's work. As always, we appreciate you. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.